Okay, so what are you going to do now? First of all, you need to identify what skill your child and you need to work on. So you might find that maybe you've done a lesson and maybe you need to sit down afterwards and think about it. It might become apparent to you within the session, oh my gosh, they're wandering everywhere. It might be that you even need to record yourself to work out what's happening.
That's the best way, I think, really, to, and we've said this over and over again, to film your sessions and then watch them back analytically. Really look and see, what is going on. Don't get carried away with what your child's actually saying, but just watch it analytically. How is the pointing? What is the skill that he really needs help with?
And I think when you're doing that, you do need to take a step back. So, for example, I work with some people who, like, let's say the child's spelling the word had. This happens. H, A, D, and the parents kind of accepting that. But you need to kind of take a step back when you're working on skills and actually think, look, is it that useful for my child in this instance to be tapping every letter on the way there? Because it doesn't look great, to be honest. No. And we want the child to be pointing as clearly as possible so that they'll be believed as well.
That happened last month. The family said to me, I noticed that he was tapping the letter on the way, and they said he always taps the letter next to it before he hits the letter that he wants.
That's what he does.
And like, why aren't you doing something about it?
Work on it.
That's a skill to work on. We want to stop that habit and break it before it becomes totally ingrained really as a motor pattern.
Definitely. So then, let's say you've identified the skill, and if you do need a bit of help with identifying a skill, ask us, send us a video, just a minute, we'll work it out for you. Then you have two ways really that you can work on it. So obviously you can work on it within your usual lesson, and during the teach ask, I'll be very, very clear with what I was doing. So let's say Sue's a wanderer. I'm going to be giving her increased kind of prompts to make sure she's going straight to where she needs to get to rather than wandering. So let's say, today, Sue, we're going to spell, just for the sake of it, we're going to learn about History. History. So we're talking about, straight there, go on, hit it, that's it, H right next door, this one, I down a bit, S over
Shall
this
we
way.
turn this around just so people can see? I know this isn't the right angle, but here we go.
Here you go. H this way, I straight down, S this way, T up, O, there you go, R and down, that's it, Y.
Very. So there, Alex has been very, very, very directive, more or less showing me exactly, where I've got to go to get the letter.
And it does not matter in this instance that Sue knows how to spell, that's fine, I believe you know how to spell. The issue that I'm helping her with is a motor skill, so I'll be saying that to her as well, we're helping you with your motor skill now, getting straight there, because it's taking you a bit of a long time at the moment, and I want you to be able to get it out a bit faster. So get them on side too. If Sue was having an issue with, let's say she was really struggling to go from a low letter to a high letter, when I was doing teach ask, I'll be really purposefully working on it again. So let's say if we were doing the word, I'll just do a word that includes like a low to high, so like way. So at the start of the session I might be giving a bit more of a prompt, so down here, W and all the way up, that's it. A and all the way down again, Y, way. Now throughout the session I do want to see if I could reduce that prompt, because my goal for Sue is for her to go from low to high without all that prompting, so that she can access open communication. So I might actually look at the words I've got that I want Sue to spell and actually check, have I actually got lots of opportunities for Sue to practice a skill goal? If not, then we're actually not working on that skill. Maybe I can work on a different skill in that lesson. Which brings us on to the second way of working on skills, which is really, really great. It's called a skill session. It's where you kind of really, really specifically work on a skill. You kind of forget the learning aspect, you forget all of the goals and just purely focus on skill. So let's say in that instance...
And this can just be a short 5-10 minute session, totally separate from your RPM
and that's
session.
all it should be. It shouldn't be kind of a half an hour ordeal. So let's say Sue is still having this issue with going from low letters to high letters. my first skill session might be, okay, I'm going to get Sue to practice words that start off with WA. So she's going to be really clearly practicing WA, WA over and over again, which will really help her to develop that muscle memory between W and A. Okay, the next skill session I'm going to do with Sue might be doing words with WE, because that's going to be useful for her. Then she'll get lots of practice. So the first word might be just be we, second word might be where, third word might be went. I'm not really going to be focusing on helping Sue with the rest of the words. So let's say Sue does WE, and let's say she's wandering for N and T. I'm going to forget the wandering because I'm just focusing at the moment. I'm going from low to high. So you have to be quite tunnel vision during the skill sessions. Don't try and work on everything. Just focus on your one thing, because then at the end of the session you can clearly see then, well, you know,
have you achieved an improvement in
has
the
there been
thing
progress
that you were working on? This is the thing, to have very, very specific goals that you know when you've actually achieved them. And it's not just a general, oh, I'm just going to improve his ability to point on accurately on a laminated keyboard, or on a laminated board, sorry. The skill go in this case is, I'm going to improve his ability to go from the bottom of the board to the top of the board without any prompt.
So let's say, you know, at the start of the session then you'd be expecting yourself to kind of give big prompts up, but by the end of the session though you'd be wanting to kind of really pull back, even if you were just doing a less of a prompt. So maybe at the start you had to go like this and this. If you were just doing this at the end, that's progress. But then the next day though you're going to work on that again. Maybe you'll just try and give a verbal prompt instead. W all the way up, E. Next day can you just go W, E? And you think, yeah, got it, we've done it.
Is that it for now on this little
I think
one?
so.
This little chunk?
Yeah,
I think
we'll
so.
leave it there. Skill sessions.